Hi, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the FX Market Insight for Friday, the 10th of May. Well, this week never seems to end. It's just dragging on, and the Donald loves seeing himself. Now, once again, just starting on the news page here, it's all about the trade talks. Okay, we've got the main page, which is the main news page, the central bank page here, which is also highlighting Trump, the regional page, and general Forex page. So basically, this Trump stuff, we're in trading purgatory, and Trump is holding the key. And being a narcissistic lunatic, you can just imagine he'd be sitting in front of the mirror laughing and loving it. All right, so what does that do for us? Now, let's just concentrate on what we've got in front of us. Now, just as we sort of come into the Asian session, right, the next 24 hours, plan ahead. Now, there's not going to be any major change in the general trading conditions. Okay, the majors are just drifting sideways. Dollar yen is the main beneficiary or the main mover of this news, just drifting lower. The longer it drags out, the lower dollar yen will go, the yen being the safe haven trade. Now, the Aussie and Kiwi, they're drifting sideways, but they still have a downward sort of general bias. It's not aggressive by any chance, but these two pairs will be the main pairs that will be hit either side of the market on the China situation. Now, a deal for China and no new tariffs. Aussie and Kiwi rally 100 points. A bad deal, okay, these things should drift lower and probably go down another 100. Okay, now don't forget, I expect any news to come out over the weekend where the whole spotlight is on Trump, and that's just his narcissistic behaviour. So what we've got is the China-US relations obviously dominating. Brexit's gone to sleep. And there's almost another third one here, which is Kim Jong-un, which is coming out throwing a few short-range ballistic missiles. You can expect that to be on the news pages next week. All right, so where do we focus? Well, these are the pairs that are in the firing line, as well as dollar yuan. We've got the RBA monetary policy statement. Now, there's sometimes things in this that can come out and impact the market. I think after the RBA on Tuesday and the way the Aussie's been trading, most traders will leave this alone regardless of what's in it. Okay, now if they come out and said we're going to cut rates next month, well, yeah, sure as hell it'll move, but they're not going to say that. So to me, it's you can hold positions through that. It doesn't seem to me to be a great opportunity. Now, UK GDP, I'm just putting a line through that. That's a high impacting data release, but sterling is moving more on the random Brexit news than economic fundamentals. So even though it's a major release, don't get yourself too caught up in that. Now, where's the main game today? Let me just clear the screen so we can sort of concentrate on this. The Canadian employment numbers, a very high impacting number, as well as the US CPI numbers. Now, these numbers come out at the same time, so don't think it's going to be an easy trade on dollar CAD just trading the employment result. These numbers could conflict, and if they do, dollar CAD probably doesn't move, or it moves 30 points up, 60 points down, it's back to where it was. To me, the main thing is I'm probably going to leave dollar CAD alone because it's too hard with these releases. US CPI is going to be obviously important to the major pairs, particularly the pairs with direction. Okay, dollar yen, well, dollar yen will probably just do its own thing with regards to Chinese news. But Aussie and Kiwi, chance for strong US numbers to push this thing lower. How big will the impact be? Well, it'll depend on the level of variance of that US CPI number. But just be aware, if we haven't heard from Trump yet, the market will probably react less to a big variance here in the CPI because they know Trump's just around the corner. No one's going to really get themselves set on a US dollar position when it could be impacted straight away by Trump. So just remember, I mean, this is how bad these geopolitical events are. They really dominate the whole market. And, usually we are sort of gagging, waiting for the US CPI numbers. But this week, with the whole geopolitical issue lighting up all the news pages globally, it does take a bit of a back seat. Now, if those US CPI numbers come out and Trump talks 5 minutes later, the market will not give a toss about what those numbers were. They will deal with Trump, and they may come back to what the CPI result was last week or next week. Okay, that's how big this impact is. Now, just having a look at the major pairs here, right? Now, I'm trying to work out where I can get into certain trades. Now, the Aussie, yeah, it is sort of drifting lower, but at the moment it's just trading sideways. And the same for the Kiwi. Dollar yen, here's this starting to get clear movement. I mean, it's only down 100 odd points, dollar yen, but it's enough to really whet the appetite of traders. And without much else going on, I think dollar yen has got a chance here, especially down below the cloud. There's no trend line. So I'm thinking the cloud here is potentially going to offer opportunities. If there is a deal between the US and China, dollar yen should shoot to the top side. And the cloud looks like to me to be the best entry level. So if you've got Ichimoku trader, maybe potentially looking for a break trade through the bottom or the top of the cloud, looks like a good opportunity to me, because if they do get a deal, it's going to race higher, be the one pair that does move. Now, just be aware, no positions over the weekend. You will see serious gapping in the market come Monday if we do get these announcements over the weekend. Now, Euro, another little false break to the top side there. This thing is just trading range bound, right? I can't see Euro going anywhere unless the US CPI numbers come into play, but this is sideways. Sterling, for all measure, is sideways, and dollar CAD is trading sideways as well. Now, we do have a couple of trend lines here on dollar CAD. Will the Canadian employment numbers impact? You bet they will. Is it going to be controllable with the US CPI at the same time? I'm putting it in the too hard basket and too volatile. All week, volatility has been going through the roof. And that's because we've got, this comes back to the MyFX Trading Hub page. Volatility has been going through the roof because we have currency pairs, well, which generally lack direction, okay, the bulk of these pairs, and we actually lack really close trend lines that the market can focus on. Now, we do have general fundamental outlooks here, and these fundamental outlooks are from a few weeks ago. They are starting to fade, right? So just be aware, the market conditions are not ideal at the moment. We do have a couple of events that could move the currencies around. You know, this is such a good opportunity, even the CAD numbers as well. But the China-US situation is the spanner in the works that you have to protect yourself. So if you're trading, to me, with that risk, especially in the North American session, I would be trading probably half the trade size just because of Trump and what that could do to your overall position. If it comes out your way, yeah, sure, you can make more money or make some money. If it comes out against you, you could lose all your cash plus everything else. So just be aware that's the framework. Well, that's my perspective anyway. All right, guys, have a good trade week. I'll get myself prepared for next week and see where the opportunities are. As I said, when you are looking at the market, don't forget, close your positions before the weekend. You have got some serious event risk, and it's all about Trump, as we saw this Monday. So just be aware, these news pages, until we get a deal here, and Trump is preparing to add extra tariffs, even as they walk into the talks, which is a usual Trump play, like bigger threats. So we may find on the weekend more tariffs, or we may find a deal, and that's going to impact all major pairs probably going forward. All right, guys, that's it for me. Have a good trade day. We'll see you in the 247 trade zone. Cheerio.